Brian Willard, 110 Q Street, former employee of the Salvation Army who worked with Sarah Hoyle and Jenny Ryan on behalf of the Salvation Army for JBC and Keno grants. I see that 1A is approving distribution of funds, idle funds that includes Keno grant money of $178. And then 1B is Lincoln Electrical Systems financial and operating statement. I dealt with a lot of utility assistance. Headache, I wish I never did, but anyway, so I'm gonna talk about those. I'm gonna tie it all in. Okay, the Salvation Army had lost their Keno grant prior to my employment there. That grant was supplying money for the Salvation Army's community center, as was the Joint Budget Committee money. Neither one of these grant contracts are enforced, and I'd like to share an internal email from the prior business administrator and the prior Salvation Army Lincoln Corps Major of Lincoln, Nebraska from 2016, dealing with these grants. Do you recall any JBC city county grants this year? I see utility assistance and food, no after school. Major James Pennington of Salvation Army Lincoln. Yes, it is technically supposed to be used for that and not after school. It's kind of one of those wink wink things in that we get the money to be used for food and utility assistance. So he's talking about both of these JBC and Keno grants. So how reliable are these grants? Well, I have Executive Order 093607. This is one of the grant contracts that unfortunately went through while I was there, even though I explained to several people why I didn't think it should. The grant contract between the City of Lincoln and Salvation Army to provide a grant contract of Joint Budget Committee funds in the amount of $10,350 for utility assistance program. The grant contract's budget was $10,350 for the caseworker, $0 for direct assistance to individuals. The scope of services was to help 1,400 people in their utility program through your various grants and the United Way grants and everybody else. Actual number, 65. 65 and it's 1,400, at least that's what it says in the grant contracts. 65 LES bills were paid for that entire fiscal year, grand total $9,202.66, or $1,147.34 less than this JBC grant alone. The federal government also gives the Salvation Army $3,000, so it's 150% of the government's money would have funded direct assistance. You know, the United Way's executive director is now on the Keno board. I know you guys all voted her through. I remember you said she did a good job with the Joint Budget Committee, and the Joint Budget Committee seems to be writing blank checks to people, so I don't agree with that. The United Way alone gave Salvation Army for this utility program that supplied $9,000 to people, $33,634, or 365% of the direct assistance to individuals. Altogether, these three contracts alone, but between the city, the state, the federal government, and the United Way, whose executive director is on your guys' boards for, I'm assuming the Keno board now, and I guess she gives advice to JBC. So you're talking about $46,984, or 5.1 times the amount of assistance given out. So about these committees in their own words, government, from your guys' websites, not your guys individually, but government is one of the key players in an important provision of human services for Lincoln and Lancaster County. The city and county oversee the distribution of city and county dollars for this purpose. Basically, they're saying that nonprofit organizations are more efficient. They're more expertise in this field. So you know, I had no idea the government had comedians writing these descriptions, because that's not the case. I worked with grant contracts all the time. A lot of them, they spent 0% of the money. So if a grant contract spells out, like that prior email from the prior administration, who I didn't even know nothing about at the time, if the grant contract spells out that the money is supposed to be on XYZ, Lincoln Electrical Systems is a huge one it gets robbed from, that charity has no business saying we don't like that, we're going to spend on ABC instead, because there's unintended consequences. Like when Black Hills Energy gives money to the Salvation Army, and we got people sleeping in their cars. I know you're going to call me for time, but
1 minute.
Oh, okay. And we got people sleeping in their cars because they're using the money on other things. I don't know what's going on with LES, but Black Hills actually reached back out to me. They apologized. They said there's 200 people being helped across the entire state of Nebraska with Black Hills Cares money. And you know, I took that apology. It was fine, but and they said so far this year, at the time it was like 8 months, they'd helped 1,500 people, so they were requiring the Salvation Army to do more. I said, well, what about this past decade? What about all those donations from all these people, you know, on their utility bills and stuff like that? Are you going to refund any of that money? No answer. So utility assistance is a huge problem in this city because, you know, it's not getting to the people that it's supposed to get to. And it's very hot outside, so I wish you guys would look into that. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.